Technovation. I am super excited to be your host on this particular podcast series. And you know what? Technovation revolves around everything technology and how it has evolved in Africa and in Nigeria particularly. Today, the topic for Technovation is technology as the new oil money. Everybody likes money. I love money. Who doesn't love money? And you know what? I'm not doing this alone. I have two amazing speakers on this set. And guess what? They are here to dish it. Boom, 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 boom. Don't mind me. Yes, I have with me Agbo Ojen. Agbo is an enterprise architect. And you know what? Just get ready for Agbo. It's going to dish it all out. And with me, Oladipo Pujaji.
Hi.
Oh, thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really appreciate you guys to be on this set today. It's really awesome. By the way, you're looking sweet.
Thank you.
Please, so are you here to come and pick wine? Because I don't understand. You only have few ladies on this set. Are you blushing?
Well, I'm looking beyond this set to the audience, so I would be, it would be a pleasure to both do business and, of course, do every other thing that it leads on.
Same thing.
Yeah, basically, we are just here to represent our fellow tech bros on the outside.
And I know you dressed to come this way because you know the topic technology as the new oil money. And of course, as techies who are already in the space and are enjoying the oil money, I believe you're going to share some with me because I still look like I don't have something.
A deal in exchange for those money, of course, yes.
Don't mind me. Anyways, let's dive right into the topic. So, I want to talk about technological advancements in the economy. You already know that technology is everywhere. Even a layman will know that, there's something called technology. Advancements in terms of gadgets, resources, even materials we use in organizations. So technology is not just technology as ambiguous. Everybody knows technology is out here. Imagine somebody using a frame, or what do we call these things you guys are putting on? A frame, right? And then it's already recording another person's profile or something. You can imagine how vast technology has gone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I want to ask you, technology as a driving force in the global economy, how do you think technology has penetrated into organizations in Africa?
Thank you very much for that awesome question. So technology has been there since the inception of mankind. As a matter of fact, given the species that exist in the human race on Earth, whether it's the human or you have the animal species, you have a couple of all of those species. One of the unique distinctions between we, the humans, and them is the fact that we are constantly changing on how we do things. Right. Birds still build their houses the way they built since inception. Bees still build their houses the way they do since inception. Lions still go about food and other things the way they've been doing in inception. But humans have this insatiable need to constantly see changes. And that's what technology, from the Greek word with which it was extracted, really defines. Constantly changing things, how people go about their lives, go about their transportation, go about communication, go about their work, go about everything which pertains to all facets of human existence. So in the 19th and 20th century, where we had, of course, their history has it that the need that existed after World War II created the need for technology, where there was need to communicate and send information from one point to the other. And over the period, successively, it has improved from the inception of network, where you had the ARPANET in the United States Defense, to what we have today, which is your artificial intelligence, where a couple of things from the workspace to our life are automated. You really don't even need human beings to do a lot of things, because it brings about predictability, it brings about efficiency, it brings about consistency, and everything which helps to speed how we do things. People, as it stands now, don't only operate on a local scale, but they also help people who are locally to provide their local content on a global scale from where they are. So those are part of the disruption it has brought to both our work and our lives and how we interact in setting with these people. I've seen scenarios where people have even met their spouse online and they met for the first time on their wedding day. it has
Wow.
created that level of disruption. So it's affecting all aspects of human life, and businesses are taking the turn, because for you to stay competitive and relevant, regardless of whatever business space with which you operate, you really need to adopt technology to automate your business processes and how you interact and serve your clients. So yeah, that's how it has affected our life in a nutshell. That I can
And
say.
I know the amazing part of it is that, before, while growing up, I hear a lot about banks, but now fintechs are just flying around. That's one of the beauty of
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Now banks are even like, hey, this fintech is are you sure you will come and send us home? Because I don't have to enter the bank
Yeah.
to create an account, and I'll still
Obviously.
make my transactions seamlessly.
Obviously.
So you can imagine that part of technology, and then somebody comes and say, oh, the way people are kidnapping people in real life, people can actually steal your documents or your
Obviously.
profile online, and then somebody comes and say, okay, there is cybersecurity. Technology is just wide.
Yeah.
I know we can't cover it all today anyways.
Yeah.
But then Jaji, he spoke about technology from the 80s, from the 90s, and now there is something called an exchange. There's a digital transformation at that particular point in time. I have a question here. Can you discuss the shift between the traditional industries to the digital world? Now we have industries that they are basically traditional, and how were they able to shift, and are they shifting, are they adapting to the digital world now, or they want to be unique in their own space?
Basically I find this an interesting topic. I see that as technology advances, right, the rapid rate at which technology advances, people, companies, industries at a large scale find it difficult to catch up with competition if they don't advance along with technology. Right? So basically what happens is that I could use an example as little as when telecommunication was first introduced in Nigeria. Right? So basically SIM was the in thing. It was expensive.
Absolutely.
To make calls. You could find queues at every corner, just people wanting to make calls to other people and all that.
Absolutely.
So as that particular technology advanced, right, in order to make things faster, processes, marketing, sales, different walks of life, in order for them to be more effective, they had to adopt other means, the latest means of making communications, like having the cell phone now, right? We now have cell phones, it eliminates queues. We now have data services, which you don't necessarily have to pick up the phone to make calls. You can send messages online. And so the rate at which technology just keeps growing, right? It leaves the traditional method behind, way behind at a very, very, it's light speed. So if you bring it back to the likes of businesses, right? Banks, for instance, if banks begin to lag behind, that's where you find customers
carry coin up and down.
Yeah.
definitely you find
Now you
customers
can go about with your cards.
they can easily just move their services, their money from one bank to the other. So this is where we then introduce, we can find a fintech doing things faster because they adopt the latest technology. And banks, which are basically on a larger scale, have been there way before the fintechs, found it difficult to just shift at that speed to the latest technology.
So I think even banks evolved at some point, because there are times where you carry money up and down. Imagine yourself carrying like 20 billion naira in your bank.
Yeah, it's possible, right? But of course, it's ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty much ridiculous. But with the advent of technology like blockchain.
I wanted to mention, but thank you very much.
Basically, so it allows for exchange of monetary value rather than picking of cash and all of that. So banks definitely they are evolving, but because with every technology, you definitely have to have the right set of people behind, right? The idea that technology would replace people entirely, personally, I feel that is not entirely true.
You know, that leads me to the next
Yeah.
question I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
because I had this in mind. Everybody says it that, oh, AI is here to stay. Of course, you cannot chase AI away, but AI is going to take our jobs. You see, even somebody that does not even know how to press phone, you say, they have brought AI, AI will steal our job. Is this actually true? I'm throwing these questions to you guys.
Okay.
Two of you. Is it actually true that artificial intelligence has come to stay? Yes. But is it stealing our jobs?
Okay, so let me react to that question. Because it's more like a buzzword which has inspired more fear than hope in people. Just to even buttress on something which you said about the adoption and migration, digital transition, whether the traditional banks or your fintechs as you have them. You know, there are always different things that marks different age in our lives. There was the Stone Age where people used stone to do a couple of things, they mold them. It grew to the Agrarian Age where people go about hunting, and that was the unique thing as at the time. There was the Industrial Age where people go to the office. That was where the manufacturing plants were built, and it now came to the Information Age where data rule. Data is the new gold as you have it, just like what our topic try to want to emphasize. Data is the new gold that you have it. What that means that the person who has data has the market size of whatever geographical region you are looking at, whether within Nigeria or West Africa or the globe as you have them. So that is there. But as a matter of fact, you know, they have to be the intentional decision and plan and measure and system, both in material and people, to adopt this systems that you have them. So until you have both the right people, you have the right structures, you have the right systems, you have the right technology, and you have the right strategy, because there are a lot of people playing in different space. As you have them, you will not stay relevant in it. But talking about stealing the job, people have always transitioned across each of these things. So learning is something which we as humans have to really adopt to stay relevant. People who most times see it as a tool that is coming to deprive them of an opportunity to work, it's most times geared towards the fear of what it's meant to do. But basically, if you understand the flexibility with which it brings, and the ease with which you can access the information you need to use to how to operate this tool, how to integrate it into whatever thing that's of interest to you. Let me assume in business space, how to integrate it into your business process and how your business activity. Once you can learn, there are a couple of tools in Google, in YouTube, that can give you at least some level of hands-on knowledge to do that. So learning curve is what is a really big thing that is lacking for most people who are afraid that it will really kill our life. Of course, humans will require some form of adjustment, right? They have to adjust to understand that first there's a change. And the change is that technology is changing the way with which you go about things. So you have to start learning how to use this tool to do the old things in some new way. So that approach or that commitment to learning how these new tools are going to help you achieve your life that you've been doing the traditional way in a more efficient way is what is really giving people setbacks in terms of, you know, adopting these things and giving them, you know, the fear that is going to tell them. But I can tell you emphatically that for most people who, you know, really understand these things, they buy into the idea. Buying in this case has to do with adopting and committing a little time to learn these things. The value it returns to them is much more than whatever they were achieving doing things their old-fashioned way.
Yeah. I agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, so taking up from what he has mentioned, I mean, there's a simple equation you can find in the enterprise architecture, right?
Yeah.
And from a business analyst standpoint of view, I see that there are three major factors that helps with advancement generally. We're talking about processes, right? Processes of structures, of organizations, of companies, how they survive. We're talking about the people that run those processes, right? They understand the process. They know what those processes should lead to. And thirdly, we're talking about the infrastructure, the technology that is adopted in order for you to make those processes. Now, these three factors are interwoven and also are
interdependent
with each other, right? Meaning the people need to run the processes, but they need to use technology to run the process effectively, right? The processes have to be there in order for the end customers or the end users to be satisfied, and they should be delivered efficiently. That's why they employ technology to run those processes.
Absolutely.
And the technology helps to advance and make things better, to simply put. So basically, this idea that AI has come to steal the job is that, as a business analyst, we see problems that maybe companies or people in their business come with, and the idea is for us to be able to help them transition into getting the solution within their business, right? Now, when they want to do that, they look at these three factors, right? What technology should we bring in?
Exactly.
And when you bring in new technology, it has to be run by certain type of people
Absolutely.
with certain skill sets. So when you want to replace somebody in a company, you are definitely replacing that person with another person who has that skill set to run that technology. Do you understand? So basically, technology is replacing somebody who is lacking in that particular knowledge, not entirely replacing people. You understand? So basically, when you bring in people to run the technology, then you have gotten someone with a higher skill set to manage the new technology. And of course, the way people evolve with technology.
Wisdom.
so the way people evolve with technology is because there's constant learning, right? That's why people always try to learn. They take up courses online, try to learn about the new technologies. They take up they can take up simple courses like Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, and all of that.
Or the ones that are offered by PSC as well.
So that's why I'm personally I'm proud of the way young Nigerians have been able to go about that, right? Because you just find people taking up courses. They take up courses in order for them to just improve their knowledge, because they know technology has gone way ahead of them. They need to close that gap so that when the time comes for them to fit in, they will be the square in the square hole. They will be the round peg in the round hole. So basically, I just feel if AI is replacing anybody, then that person just has to do it.
So it's safe to say that AI is not here to steal your job.
No.
But AI is here to enhance your job.
As a matter of
especially
fact,
a skilled person, right?
As a matter of fact, there's a part I can guarantee you that AI can never disrupt. That's the part that has to do with emotional intelligence. If a customer comes into your premises and is not feeling good, asking him for money is not the first thing to do. Giving him a cup of water can serve more than requesting for that money. So no matter how you want to structure or automate that system, AI may not have the ability. It will take a lot of years to get to that level that AI can read people's emotional intelligence to know that this person at this point might need extra support to give that. As a matter of fact, even the parameters that the AI will have to use to interpret if that time comes.
But this is
if that time comes that the AI have to interpret people's emotional state, whether it has to do with HR, whether it has to do with customer service, whether it has to do with all of those things, people will be responsible for setting those parameters. People will have to dictate for the HR what are the parameters that are relevant and are relevant to the business or relevant to the process. So you cannot remove human factor from the equation of how those AI are going to help. AI is only just going to support the people's working environment, people's work tool, and enhance, create about speed, and bring about whatever efficiency.
And this is one of the things that's really helped brand strategists, people in my line of work, digital marketers, social media managers, and what have you. Everybody in the brand comes. Basically, when we talk about marketing is a very wide topic, and then you want everybody just when you get marketing, please just bring money in my company. Most organizations, most CEOs are just telling you that please bring money into my business. That is what I want. And then when AI comes in, that's where the digital transformation occurs. It even gives you a platform for global markets. For example, I'm selling a particular product called Microsoft. I may not have even entered the Microsoft office before, but I have the product and I want to sell. It is even it's an online market. And I can sell to somebody in India, I can sell to an organization in Afghanistan, in whatever country, right while I'm in the comfort of my room, in Nigeria. That's how beautiful this AI is. It helps you to even conduct market research. Imagine me sitting down now and bringing questionnaires, going to universities. Can you help me to tick? Do you watch your phone? Do you do this? But right now I can actually do that online. I can reach a wide number. Oh, you have something to say?
Yeah, no, there's a but to AI. Of course, there's always the good side of things.
Of
right?
course,
But
yeah.
there's also a but to AI, because when you take AI as your primary source of, taking out, looking for strategies, research, materials, and all of that, it sometimes will make you lose touch in terms of going through the actual process of learning what you ought to learn, right? It will make the skill become lazy. You become lazy and you just feel, because something that's supposed to usually take maybe 40 hours to get done, you can do it in 2 hours and you can just lazy around, right? Or you can actually get the job done quicker, but the quality might still be lacking, right? It might still need some actual, genuine human sacrifice rather than depending on the artificial intelligence. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right in every aspect, because at the end of the day, AI is just only a part of information technology. We have a lot of other areas. Areas is just basically aim at helping you automate some things and bring prediction to certain things. But then, if you have AI, you also need to have had a database, right? Which should have collected all the data. Let's assume, let's say, a conventional financial institution that has customers that perform transactions through their banks, or maybe they call the customer service or they email the customer service for an issue, or let's say a back office kind of operation in the banking setting where you have those in internal control or those in information security. So there are a couple of activities that should have happened among those areas. And what AI tries to do is that it gives meaning to all of those. I'm trying to use simplest of terms, right? Gives meaning to all of those data that you have received from all of the domains that makes up any organization. So unless each of those departments, let's say those in human resource, those in general services, those in customer services, unless those people in those departments with their respective tools, whether it's an end-to-end HR tool, whether it's an end-to-end customers relationship management tool, whether it's which we have in PSC as a matter of fact. So all those tools should have been used to capture whatever information you need to capture. You should have archived them in whatever database, then integrating whatever AI resource that you have will not extract those things, make predictions you need to get, make meaning from them. So if you see what I've tried to establish, everything at the end of the day is interconnected.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to the company's strategy. If everything you're doing does not sit with the company's strategy, especially the parts that are human dependent, then the AI is useless. So everything is interconnected in the long haul as it stands to apply. My recommendation most times when it has to do with things like this is that you shouldn't try to want to know everything, right? There are different aspects of information technology that addresses different human needs, regardless of whatever sector you have, whether you're in oil, whether you're in education, or whether you're in fintech, whether you're in agrotech, whether you're in health, whether you're in health, whether in manufacturing companies as you have them. There are different specialized tools designed to help give you end-to-end automation. What you're looking for is, I keep on saying this over and over, you're looking for efficiency. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the traditional organization, for instance, you go to, I think even some companies in Nigeria and in Africa at large still operate that way. Go to their offices, there's still the paper way of going about things. Now, if you decide to want to do some form of analytics, for instance, you say, okay, I want to know who are our best customers for the first quarter of 2022.
Becomes difficult.
From your file cabinet, how can you come up with that information? I can only imagine an organization that has, let's say, a customer strength of 50,000, right? And they do over 500,000 transactions every week. How can you know who are your best customers for, let's say, 3 years behind the line if you do physical archiving of those things? But you see, if you have the right information technology tools, the right software, just with the click of a button, in 5 to 10 seconds, you get all your information. And we deploy those things for a couple of customers within Nigeria, in West Africa, and of course in the UK. So I've seen how those things have helped, brought certain processes that were literally done. And what was that client we did in Abuja that was literally done in 6 months? It collapsed it to 2 weeks. That's productivity. So whatever revenue which they had to spend for that level of productivity, you won't even talk about the amount they spend on office accessories. Buying papers, buying ink for your printer to print those papers and do all of those things. All of those things translate into what a minimum or a minimal subscription can save you a lot of cost while giving you efficiency and most importantly helping you stay competitive. Not only in Nigeria, like I'd like to say as I wrap up on this point, for most people, your greatest competitor is not the shop next to you. It might be a student in Germany. Your greatest competitor might not be the person who is in your next street, the physical building. It might be a student developing a tool in China, as you have them. So at the end of the day, your goal is not to stay competitive on a local scale. You want to stay competitive globally, and I can assure you without any doubt that that's where information technology and the respective tools and techniques comes into play to give you that edge and advantage.
You know, that reminds me when I was discussing with my mom recently, and she was like, oh, the visa studies not around, how will she go around through these files and everything? I'm like, what files? I was like, oh, they have a shelf in the office, and I was like, okay, she works at the university anyways. And I'm like, God, have you heard about logical dot? And she was like, for non-Yoruba, I was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, Jesus, you need all these kind of information technology tools.
Absolutely.
For your own efficiency. Some people say, no, they just want to collect our money. But eventually when you see the use, and it's even bringing you more money.
Exactly, in the long term.
In the long term.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of technology. And that's why I believe that technology is actually the new oil money, because every organization imbibing technology in their space will definitely see the returns.
And grow their revenue.
They will see the returns.
Grow their market size.
Exactly. Now, talking about technology as the new oil money. Technology came in as opposed to the popular notion that, oh, technology is here to steal our jobs. I practically believe technology is here to give more jobs. Absolutely. Because before technology, we only have banks. We only have ware and storehouses, but now we have fintechs. We have people that can do quality. You hear quality assurance. Was quality assurance before now? Was software testing before now? Yeah. If there was no technology advancement, there wouldn't be anybody called software testers. Or what do you think?
Yeah,
it's just to bring more jobs to people. I believe.
Absolutely, in very unconventional way. I would like to use an example of one of our customers without calling the customer's name. Right? We consulted, I think last year, for an organization that's into digital currency.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, not resident in Lagos. Where we are shooting this thing. Some of them are across Nigeria, some of them are across Ghana, some of them are across the UK. I knew they had staff that spread in 5 continents of the world, and they deliver their services. As a matter of fact, even when we're consulting with these clients, from the beginning of our interaction with them to the end, we never met them by face. I can tell you for a fact that in that organization, they have a complete structure. They have those in the legal team, they had those in the accounting team, they had those in the human resource team, they had customer service, they had those in operations. I wouldn't just talk about the technical people who were managing the setup of all of those things. And all of them were there were some way, somewhat. They had skills that were attuned with digital currency that in a traditional bank they wouldn't have been relevant. But then they had this value that they could create in the business space. That this new concept of technology or this new way of transacting or going about, the essence for money is exchange. True. And that's what cryptocurrency tries to also want to drive. So it brings about a form of exchange that a certain kind of people who are knowledgeable in that area can still do business, can still get a job, and can still provide value to people on a paid grade. So it has brought in that kind of value. That's only a part of it. I'm sure Mr. Jaji will have some other example too.
Yes, basically, I just want to look at, of course, I always look at the business standpoint of things.
Of course.
So, I mean, Businesses generally just adopt technology, right? But they need to be guided, right? They need to know what they're solving. Problems come in different angles.
Absolutely.
Business owners can come out, you have this problem, we're not making this sales, we're not making that sales, and it will be difficult for them to see that what they are lacking is a simple technology adoption. Simple technology adoption. But of course, when it comes to adopting such technology, they can then see what they stand to gain in the long run. Yeah. So, for instance, there was one, should I say, a client now. They're into retail, right?
Okay.
So, retail into buying and branding of items, branding them, selling, and all of that. It took a lot for them to be able to track their orders. It took a lot for them to be able to meet up with some orders, right? But when the problem got to us, we had to advise them, why don't you take up an ERP called Odoo? Why don't you just take up Odoo ERP?
Odoo,
It helps
exactly.
you automate your processes from the project to the accounting to the human resources to the expenses, everything that they didn't think about, because what they thought was their problem was just sales and managing their orders, but it helps them manage the sales, their orders, their projects, even their internal affairs when it comes to their finances. So eventually, within a month of adopting the solution fully, they were able to expand. They were able to expand. The CEO was now comfortable to say, okay, yes, I can leave my base in Lagos and take some of my products to the US. Comfortable. So almost every year now, she goes to the US for 6 months. She goes with some items and sells and reports back to the office here in Lagos through the same software.
That's
in order
cool.
to track sales, in order to at least say, okay, yes, my sales have improved by about so percentage. So
Yeah.
basically, adoption can be just as simple as just taking a business tool, and it could be as it could be
Complex.
on a large scale of going helping banks, right?
Yeah.
Fintechs, adopting the latest technology, artificial intelligence, and all that. But I will always advocate that no matter the technology, the right people have to be behind them. The right people have to be behind them.
Absolutely. So just to add to what he's saying, because I was partly involved in that engagement, there are a couple of other tools which you can always use to automate or bring about efficiency of your product, right? One of the things I always tell people is that technology adoption is not only buying more products. Sometimes it's even about downsizing. Because you can even be buying, if your focus is buying more product, you can even be buying the wrong tools at some point. And not knowing that, okay, there are some products that are designed for certain organizations. Sometimes when people talk about cost associated with technology product, it is because they're focused on the products that are meant for large scale organization, but their products intentionally designed for the small scale, like the Odoo he mentioned. An organization that has a teen budget for technology, instead of having to go to buy 20 tools or 20 software and begin to maintain several annual subscription for different software, why not just get just one tool like an Odoo, right? That will just simply give you for all your departments, automate all those processes, and it has very cost-effective annual or monthly subscription, depending on whatever subscription model you decide to go, and it to give you the value that you need until your organization grows to the level that your revenue, because our own objective is to see that this thing brings about value. Your revenue goes to the point and your productivity grows to the point where you need other bigger products, then you can accommodate all of those ones. But the first thing is to get something to get you off the ground, automate your process, to stay global. That's the goal, to stay global in terms of your business space. Yes.
Thank you so much. This is super awesome. I have to be sincere with you guys. I saw technology in another light. Having these two amazing men with me here on this set is an amazing thing. And I know technology advancement comes with both its good and its bad. But today we are not going to focus on the bad, because we believe it is more good than bad if beautifully utilized, like they said. The processes have to have the right people behind the right products, the right technological tools. Today that's been awesome having you guys. I really
Thank you.
enjoy every session.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys proved to me that you're not here to just come and look for white. Because maybe are just dishing it out. Anyways, I'm sure after the set, they're gonna give me some.
Yeah, technology.
Well, the year is just starting. So
Technology money.
some tech bro money.
Wow, yes, I want some tech bro mene. Yes, thank you so much, guys,
Thank you very
for
much.
being on this set. I'm sure our viewers out there will want to see more of you because when you hear them speak, they're coming back. Me myself, I will drag them like the trousers. They must come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank you
for
very
being on
much.
this set. I really enjoy every part of it.
Thank
So, guys, you've had it all. Technology is the new money. If you are not skilled in any technological, what do we call it?
Tools, systems,
What
processes.
upgrade? Like upgrade.
Full stop.
Technology is beyond doing a design and putting on your social media platform.
Absolutely.
It's beyond that. It's
Absolutely.
beyond just going to register for your business without having the right business processes. Please, so we don't want you to crumble.
And they're open source tools, free tools that you can also
Yeah.
start with.
Of course.
Assuming you have a teen budget as well.
Yes. So it's time to upskill, upgrade, learn, unlearn, and relearn. I'm sure as you watch this video, you have every drive in you to get the right strategies on ground. And this is the wrap of Technovation for the first series. I have again here with me Oladipo Jaji, a business analyst. Hey, everything is business. I mean, the money. It's the money for me. And of course, I got Ajay, enterprise architect. I
Thank
think
you
I
very
should come and start learning this. Money. Then
We provide some form of free consultation. Yes, you can start with that.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
And you're from Panoramic Synergy Enterprise. It's
Yeah.
so amazing having you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
And until next time, it's Technovation!
1,